mean, you always have to have something that you're looking forward to when you're on the road, or a goal, or else you just get that 600-yard stare on your face and you're just like, what have I done with my life? I thought this was going to be exciting. I thought I was going to enjoy it. I mean, I did for the first 25 years, but I'll tell you, these last 7 have been a little rough, okay? Yeah. That's the hard thing, is going to a city that you've been to 1,000 times and finding something new to do, something that excites you, something that you can look forward to, so you keep your mojo, you know, you're up. You know, and you're not coming there like, oh, my God. Like, I've been to Ottawa a bunch of times. I've skated along the canal. I'd do that again. I would do that in a second. I'd skate along that canal, get myself a little hot chocolate. If you've never done it, I'm telling you, it's such an underrated thing. Not for a Canadian. You know, I mean, those fucking people, they skate backwards to work. You know, apologizing the whole way. I love how they have that reputation, you know. Oh, hey, oh, sorry. They're not like that. Maybe in like the cities where there's like money involved. You know, there's money involved. They got skin in the game. I'm not talking about the cosmopolitan, you know, person that lives in Canada who has a friend that looks like Drake. I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about those fucking animals that live in the middle of nowhere on like a farm, and they got their own fucking pond, and their dad built a rink, you know, and at the end of the game every night you have to fight all your brothers, and whoever wins, you know, gets the first cut of fucking elk or bison or polar bear, whatever, those fucking people. Yeah. I'm literally just making shit up. I've never been... Well, I've driven through it. You know, I've driven through the farm areas in Canada. I drove from Winnipeg up to Regina. And I looked at the farms, and I felt the exact same thing I feel when I drive by American farms. Which is, there's a good chance a serial killer lives in there. There is just something so creepy. If you just drive by a farm, you know, it's beautiful, right? You want to take the easel out of your trunk, put a canvas up, you know, and paint that little red barn that's in a state of disrepair, peeking over the horizon, you know? That one random cow just standing there, looking at you, you're looking at it. But you really take a look at the fucking place. You know, if you stay there till the sun starts going down, you know, that's when all the secrets start coming out, man. It's really, a farm is a really creepy thing. And you know what? It's all the same shit. There's a big part of me that wants to live in the middle of fucking nowhere. I was thinking that yesterday when I was driving in the traffic out here, and how my entire adult life, since I moved out, like I grew up in the suburbs, which I feel is the perfect amount of, you're close to the city, you know, you're not in the city, you're not in the country. A lot of people make fun of the suburbs. Suburbs are the shit, you know? You're close enough to the city where you can go in there and get some culture, meet different people, and see independent films and all of that stuff. But you're not going to, like, you know, start stealing cars, right? While you get ridiculously good at math. But if you live in the middle of nowhere, that's when you get like all paranoid, you know? Which is totally understandable. I mean, you're just out there by yourself, and it's really all on you. I mean, if somebody comes through your front door, you can't yell help. That's why people in the middle of nowhere have all of those fucking guns. And all of these fucking liberals that live in cities, if they lived out there in the middle of nowhere, they'd have a fucking gun too. And if you don't, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I mean, some of these people, their fucking driveways are like a quarter of a mile long. When I would be out there doing college gigs, make a left on Rural Road L. Like they didn't even have a fucking name. They were barely paved. You fucking live out there? All right? And your next door neighbor who's fucking 9 miles away starts getting into the meth. He starts dipping into, he gets high on his own supply. And he turns into a fucking zombie, and all of a sudden he starts walking up your fucking driveway. All he's got on is a pair of overalls. Nothing else. Looking like fucking Tom Sawyer. Walking up the goddamn driveway with fucking bad intentions. What are you going to do? Huh? You going to go over to that phone on the wall? Operator? Yeah, let me get the sheriff. Let me get Pennsylvania 695er, or whatever the fuck they don't even have fucking cell phones out there. No, I'm kidding. That right there's it's a silo and a cell phone tower. I got my own fucking network out here. I grow my own fucking food. I'm building a rocket. Somebody comes up your fucking driveway out there. What are you going to call the cops? Huh? You going to wait for Sheriff Resco P. Coltrane to come up in some fucking Plymouth 4 hours later, and this guy, this guy's a farmer. All right? This guy knows how to fillet meat, and he's on fucking crack and whatever the fuck he's on, that wooden teeth shit, crystal meth. By the time they get there, you're going to be like that guard in fucking Silence of the Lambs. Remember when he put him up all gutted and he looked like he was on the front of a boat? You know what the worst part is the sheriff's going to know the name of the guy that kills you. He's going to sit there like, all right now, Forrest, you had your fun. Okay? Put the lawnmower blade down. Now, goddammit, Bill is all kinds of fucked up there, and he's still breathing. Now, let's just be fair. You had your fun. Let me cut him down. Don't reach into that little pocket. Don't reach into that little pocket in front of your overalls. Pulls out a 6-shooter, and then he misses. He's got a basset hound sitting on his fucking dashboard. You got to have a gun when you're out there. But the problem is when you live out there, all you can do is talk to your neighbor who's like 9 miles away, and you live in the middle of nowhere, right? And the people in the cities are making fun of you, so you're like, fuck them, straight across the board, so you won't listen to their information. So now all you're left with is you and your friend who lives 9 miles away and your interpretation of the internet. And that's when you start connecting dots, man. I'll tell you what, you know what they're doing? You know what I think they're doing? What do you think they're doing? I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now what the fuck is going on, all right? I went to ifigureditout.net. I read some shit. It's fresh in my brain, and I want to say it to you before I forget it. You like how I'm making it seem like only people in the South live in the middle of nowhere? I always call myself out on doing that, but I continue to do it. That small town thing does exist everywhere. You know, I remember when I moved to New York, and one of my buddies lives in the suburbs of Boston. And he's like, where do you live in New York? Where you live? And I said, I live on 97th and Lex. And he's like, dude, what's up with the numbers down there? Like all the streets are like numbers? Like, well, it kind of makes it easy. There's like fucking 200 streets. Do you want to name 200 streets on a little-ass island? And it is a little-ass island. You know, you can walk from one side to the other in like a fucking hour. You know, I guess you can do that probably in any city. I don't know. I was just always amazed at how small a city Manhattan was once you got in it and you started to know people. The amount of times you'd walk down the street and just run into somebody you knew. Hey! It's like, this is not possible. There's like a billion people all stacked up on top of each other.